You've picked up 3 Fire King structure decks, and now you want to see what build you can put together using only the cards within these decks. Well, I'm here to show you exactly what you can build. Here is the budget build using only 3 of the Fire King structure decks. I will also be bringing you a $100 build which upgrades this deck using some outside engines, and then I'll also bring you a full-on no budget held build that will show you everything you need to. At the end of each of the profiles, I'll also show you basic combos that involves the decks that's shown before you, so you know exactly what it can do. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. So we're going to dive head first into the brand new upgrade for Garunix, and that is the Sacred Fire King Garunix. So if your monster or monsters that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special on this card from the hand or graveyard if it was there when it was destroyed. If it's normal or special, you get to destroy a fire, beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster in your hand, deck, or face up on the field except itself. And if you do, this card can gain attack equal to half the destroyed monster's attack it had there until the end of the turn. The idea is that the fact that it lets you destroy it in the deck is absolutely invaluable, because it does mean you can also get rid of stuff from the deck as well. And because it allows you to destroy a fire, beast, beast warrior, or winged beast, it can allow you to utilize the Tri-Brigade engine like no other, which is exactly what I'm looking forward to do. Then of course we do play 3 Fire King High Avatar Kirin. So during the main phase, if this card is in your hand, you get a quick effect to destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up on the field, and if you do, you get to special on this card. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special on 1 Fire King monster from the hand or graveyard, except itself, and then you can destroy 1 card on the field. The reason this card is so good is it gives you the ability to trigger Torrential Tribute whenever you want to. And for those of you that are familiar with the Fire Kings, they love being destroyed by card effects. So being able to utilize that effect as well as blowing up your opponent's entire board and then getting an additional summon and a destruction is absolutely invaluable. We've then got the brand new legendary Fire King Ponix. Now this is probably the most insane card that this deck has got, and the fact that it's a level 1 makes it even more insane, and then it's a fire on top of that. Which is why when you start looking at upgrades for the deck, one of the first cards you want to be looking into is stuff like 1-for-1 and even the Sinful Spoils Original Sin, for the pure fact that it just lets you special summon a level 1 fire from the deck, which is invaluable when you're trying to get access to a card like this that on normal or special allows you to add a Fire King spell or trap from the deck to the hand. And then during the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard in any means necessary, so even destroyed in the deck, you get to add it back from the graveyard to the hand. On top of that, if your monster or monsters that was originally a fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special on this card from the hand as well. Then we are playing 3 of the Fire King Avatar. So this one is when a monster effect is activated while this monster is on the field, you get the quick effect to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Ragbali also has the ability to negate a spell or trap in the exact same manner that the Avatar does, but it has a more modernized effect that if a face-up Fire King monster or monsters you control is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, you get to special on this card from the hand, which is really, really nice. Obviously, when they negate the effects, they have to destroy another fire monster that you control or in your hand, and that's really kind of cool because it will allow you to trigger off their additional effects. You've then got the 1 at Barong. So if a face-up Fire King monster or monsters you control is destroyed by card effect, again, except during the damage step, you special on this card from the hand. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you add a Fire King card from the deck to the hand. We've then got the 1 OG Garunix. So this is just for pure recursion of a very annoying boss monster. So once per turn, during the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you special on this card from the graveyard. If you do, you have to destroy all monsters on the field, but that's where your protection effect of a card like your Fire King Skyburn can come into play. And then when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you get to special on a Fire King monster from the deck, except itself. Nice. Then, of course, we've got the OG Wolfbark, 1 Agamazud, and 1 Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernodes. Then, of course, for the hand traps for the deck, we do have Triple Droll on Lockbird and Imperm. Great reprints for the deck. It makes sense why Droll was not in the rarity set now, but as much as I would have liked it to have been in there, but also not been in there because damn, that would have broken the bank even more. These are great reprints to have in the deck. You do obviously want to upgrade these, and one of the cards you would have wished was in here is Ash Blossom, but even with these, it's a great addition to the deck, and if you're just playing with 3 decks, they're a must-have. We then play 3 of the brand new Fire King Sanctuary. So when this card is activated, you get to place a Fire King island from the deck face out into your field zone. And then once per turn, if a card in your field zone would be destroyed by card effect, you can destroy 1 fire monster in your hand or face one on the field instead. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, XYZ summon 1 fire XYZ monster using only Fire King monsters you control. Now that's very important because what you're probably going to be going into more times than not will be the brand new Garunix Eternity, and that's also going to be utilised when you are summoning out your level 8s like your original Garunix. You also got your Kirin and of course the new Garunix as well. So because this gives you direct access to the Fire King, I've gone with 2 Fire King Island rather than 3. But this really does come down to like personal preference. The fact that the Fire King Island is like a hard once per turn does make it a little bit more tricky to justify playing more. But that's where I feel playing something like Agamazud, which becomes even better when you start using outside influence, because you can start using Diagram, you can start using the Barastos, the Water True King, as well as the Earth True King as well, to help you utilize more boss monsters and destroying the fire cards in your hand. It can be near invaluable. So Fire King Island, if this face-up card on the field zone is sent to the graveyard or banished, you have to destroy all monsters you control. During your main phase, you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and if you do, you add a Fire King monster from the deck to the hand. Now, keeping in mind, you can only use one of the following effects of Fire King Island per turn, and that is the Destruction effect, or if you control no monsters, you get to special summon a Fire Wing Beast monster from the hand, so that's why it's a little bit more restricted. Triple Tenki, because you do play a lot of Beast Warriors. Double Rekindling, you actually have 5 targets for your Rekindling, and 4 of those targets are at 3. So you've got your Avatar, you've got your Ponix, you've also got your Kirin, which is a really, really nice option to have. And then on top of that, you also have, wherever it is, your Rabali, and you also have the last one, wherever it might be hiding. There we go. You also have your Rabali and you have your Barong. So you've got 5 very good targets there that you can bring back off the Rekindling. You can play Rekindling at 3 if you wanted to as well. And then playing 2 Circle of the Fire Kings. I like the ability of being able to do a tag out. So you target a fire monster you control and 1 fire monster in your graveyard. You destroy that monster you control, and if you do, you special on that other monster. So what I quite like about this is it can be an aggressive turnout, because you can turn a Ponix straight into like a Barong to upgrade it. You can go into a Kirin to upgrade it. You just target a fire and you swap them around, which I think is really kind of cool. And then for like the board wipe capabilities, we've gone with the 1 Dark Hole, the 1 Fire King Skyburn, and the 2 Torrential Tributes. Now these ratios will change depending on personal preference. Obviously Dark Hole, great going second, not so great going first. I mean, it could still do some utilities for you going first, because you can put a Fire King on the board, activate Dark Hole, destroy it, and then get their effects off. But it's still not as great. Torrential Tribute is awesome going going first, not so great going second. But the fact you can trigger this when you want to with Kirin does make a big difference. And then you do have the 1 Fire King Skyburn, which is kind of like Dark Hole and Torrential in one, because it can go first or second. But the issue is you need to target an equal number of Fire King monsters you control and then card your opponent controls to destroy them. And then on top of that, you also get an additional effect that if a Fire King card or cards you control would be destroyed by card effect, you get to banish this card from the graveyard instead. However, there is a clause in it that you can only use 1 of its effects per turn, which is very, very restricting. It should have just been you can only use each effect once per turn, but that is all part of it. So that's it for the full deck, and again, using only 3 of the structure decks. Now let's move on to the extra deck. So in the extra deck, pretty straightforward on this one, you're just maxing out on all of the extra deck monsters they give you. So Diamond Dire, Giant, Coach King Giant Trainer, Heater, and then of course the brand new Garunix. The extra deck is what's going to change the most when you start adding outside influences, whether it's going to be the Dogmaticas, whether it's going to be the Tri-Brigade, or whether it's going to be the Diabell Stars. So we'll talk about mainly the brand new Garunix Eternity. This one is absolutely insane. So it's a generic rank 8, and then if it is XYZ summoned, you get to destroy all other monsters on the field, which is why the Fire King spell card, which is Sanctuary, that lets you XYZ during your opponent's turn, can be an insanely good option to board wipe as you see fit. Then on top of that as well, you also have the ability to detach material from this card, target 1 spell or trap on the field and destroy it, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack. If this card is destroyed while it has material, you get to special summon Fire King monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials that this card had. You can only use each effect once per turn. So it's a nice 3k boss monster. The artwork is absolutely amazing. and it does have a quick effect or on summon board wipe ability. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it for the exact profile. Now, like I said, I'm going to bring you a combo as well, utilizing only the structure deck, as well as bring you other different versions of the deck as well, a $100 upgrade, as well as a non-budgets held. So now let's show you the combo for this deck. The basic one card combo that you're going to want to know for this structure deck is all revolving around Ponyx, which is why it's so important that when you upgrade this deck, you're going to be looking into stuff like 1-for-1, heck, maybe even Piri Rizzy Where Art Thou, or of course the original Sinful Spoils. So you can start off by normal summoning the Ponyx. The Ponyx will allow you to search out your Fire King Sanctuary. You're going to activate the Sanctuary, which will allow you to activate your Fire King Island directly from the deck. Use Fire King Island's effect to destroy the Ponyx, and search you out your Sacred Fire King Garunix. Because a monster that was originally fire was destroyed on the previous chain, you can use the if effect of Sacred Fire King Garunix to summon itself down, and then destroy a fire monster in the deck, destroying your Barong. You will then pass your opponent's turn, and during the standby phase, you'll be able to trigger the Barong and Ponyx. So Ponyx will come back to the hand, Barong will allow you to add your high avatar Kirin. In doing so, at some point, you'll be able to activate Kirin's effect in the main phase to destroy the Ponyx and summon itself down. And then once your opponent special summons a monster, you can use the Sanctuary effect to overlay your Garunix and the Kirin to make your Garunix Eternity. This will then trigger to destroy all of your opponent's monsters. If that wasn't enough, as it comes back to your standby phase, you get to draw a random card, but then you'll also be able to add back the Ponyx. On top of this, you can now use Fire King Island effect to destroy the Eternity and trigger the effect. So you'll search yourself out your Sacred Fire King Garunix again, while also triggering the effects of Garunix to summon and the ability of the Garunix Eternity, because it was destroyed while it had material. You can special summon Fire King monster from the graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. 2. So this will then allow you to summon 2 back. So you're going to be able to summon itself back, and you're going to be able to summon back the Kirin, while also summoning down the Garunix. Now, keep in mind, on the previous turn, you've already destroyed your opponent's entire board with the ability of the Garunix Eternity. So by bringing all of these back without even conducting your normal summon, you have exactly 8,100 damage on the board, which is absolutely insane. Not to mention, a normal summon of a Ponyx can give you a search, can give you a destruction. It's everything you may need. So that's the very basic one card combo for this deck. There are other combos to be shown, and I'll show you those in a separate video. I just wanted to give you something to get started with and show you exactly what this deck can do using only 3 structure decks. So for now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, so you can see more upcoming stuff for the Fire King deck as well, utilizing the Tri-Brigade engine, maybe the Dogmatica engine, and then a no holds barred full-on Diabell Star engine as well. So with all of that out of the way, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.